Today, we're going to be myth busting the most common financial misconceptions on the internet. So let's have some fun. All right, myth number one, a financial advisor is just a stock picker. I think if you look back at the 1990s, then you would see that a lot of the financial advisors were actually just glorified stock pickers. Nobody really knew what was going to go up and what was going to go down. And if you look at the stats, something like 80% of active managers that are picking stocks are actually underperforming if you just went out and bought an index like the S&P 500. And so I think if you really dig deep, most financial advisors are not better stock pickers than the guy next door or than a monkey that's sitting there picking stocks on a screen. In most cases, the biggest return on investment is going to be actually doing some planning work and trying to save you on taxes and trying to make sure that you make the right decisions around your finances and how you're investing and how much you're investing and where you put it, asset location, whether it's Roth or if it's in pre-tax. That's really going to move the needle. I don't really think that oftentimes picking stocks is the best way to go. Many times, passive management outperforms active. I won't say at all times, but in most cases, historically, the boring, unsexy stuff actually works better than the quote unquote hot stock of the day. That's a common misconception that is busted. Myth number two, you have to be very wealthy to actually work with a financial advisor. This is also something that we hear pretty often, and I will say that it depends. In many cases, a lot of firms do have minimums. You have to have $250,000, $500,000, $2 million, whatnot, in assets under management that you actually give to the financial advisor to have them work with you. However, there's been a movement in recent years called the flat fee movement, where you're basically able to work with the financial advisor, pay them maybe $3,000 to do a one-time financial plan, and they will get you set up and give you really good advice with no strings attached. I know a lot of financial advisors that work with just the next generation, the youngest generation that's kind of getting their first job, buying their first house, and they may not be able to meet with 1,000 clients back to back to back, but they can meet with you when you have a big life event that needs to happen. They can invest your money with a robo-advisor. They can get you set up on a budgeting software, and they can do a lot of things that will really actually move the needle for younger, lower net worth clients while you're in that accumulation phase. So yes, there are some financial advisors that will only work with high net worth individuals, but on the flip side, there's plenty of financial advisors that their specialty is working with next generation clients that don't have $2 million to invest with them. And I always recommend maybe looking for somebody with CFP, Certified Financial Planner designations and credentials, because that person is going to at least have a basic level of financial planning knowledge. Common misconception number three, all financial advisors are there to sell something. Let's be real. When you're in any business, you're making money, there's always something to sell, right? You may be selling a product, or you're selling yourself. You're selling a relationship. You're selling an accountability partner. And so in reality, yeah, I guess in some case, you are always selling something. A certified financial planner or somebody that is actually acting in a fiduciary capacity, meaning that they're acting in your best interest, should not be out there to sell you a product. They should be selling you on the relationship and selling you on what it's like to work with them ongoing as they get to know you and your family and your goals. And so a good financial advisor is not out there to sell you a product. They may sell you a product. You know, funny story, we actually started selling insurance, and I went out and got my insurance license, not because I wanted to sell insurance. I was actually pretty against that early in my career, but I found out that my clients already had trusted me with managing their investments, helping them plan for the rest of their life. And they said, we already know that we trust that you're going to be working in our best interest because we've seen you do that over the years. So why would we want to go buy insurance from somebody else that doesn't know our goals? As the client, you just need to have your antenna up, know how the advisor is going to be making money, ideally know how much money they're going to be making off of this product that they're selling or whatnot, and they should be able to tell you that. It's not necessarily bad to actually be selling a product, but just make sure that they're working in your best interest and not in their own. Ooh, next common myth. You can just do it yourself. The hard truth here is that you actually can. In a lot of cases, especially in the information age that we live in, most people could actually do it themselves. They could manage their own investments, do the calculations on an Excel spreadsheet, and they could hold themselves accountable and really commit all their time and energy to managing their finances. What most people realize very quickly into that is that it kind of sucks to do it for yourself. I work with clients all the time that thought that they were capable of self-managing, and maybe they're a little bit more active in our relationship, meaning that they are actually calculating the numbers, asking some of the more difficult questions. But I appreciate that. It keeps me sharp, and it helps them feel like they're invested and understand what they're being invested into and understanding what we're doing behind the scenes. For most people, the simplification of working with a good financial planner is that they're going to be proactive. The highest ROI is to spend your time and your energy in growing your business, investing in your family. And you shouldn't have to worry about selling a specific stock because it's down on a certain day and you want to do some tax loss harvesting, or calculating your taxes and seeing at the end of the year if there's any specific tax moves that you can make. I am a huge proponent, and I am a little biased, but I am a huge proponent of simplifying and allowing somebody else to deal with all that stuff so that you can spend all your time investing in what matters most to you, whether that's your business, whether that's your family, whether that's your career. That's where you get the highest ROI on your time, and that's how you should be spending your time. The next common misconception is if I work with a financial advisor, I'm gonna lose control over my money. And that is something that a lot of people struggle with. It is hard to give up control. Many people are control freaks and they like to feel like they are in control of everything. So it's a daunting task to say, I'm gonna go hands off and allow somebody else to manage the day-to-day of what I've spent my entire life saving for. So most financial advisors have an at-will relationship with their clients. What that means is that when a client comes on board with me, at any point during that onboarding process, after the onboarding process, they can decide to leave and manage it on their own. We have a really easy process where if somebody decided, you know what, this is just not working for me anymore, I want to retain control, I want to self-manage, we just take our names off the accounts. They still hold their investments. There's no taxable sales, and now they can buy and sell and trade and do whatever all on their own. However, when it comes to big decisions like when to take Social Security, what type of portfolio to invest in, a good financial advisor is oftentimes meeting with clients and walking them through the options. I'm a huge fan of educating before making decisions, and so I want my clients to be informed before we make a big decision. So even though technically the day-to-day control over the assets is taken care of by the financial advisor, the client still owns their assets, is still informed about every single decision that's being made in their accounts, and have the ability to reach out to their advisor at any point in time and ask questions, while the advisor may also be coming to them proactively with some educational opportunities to say, here's some things that we can do and that we would recommend. So those are some of the common misconceptions that we hear as financial advisors. Hopefully we busted some of those myths. Hopefully we've given you a little bit more insight into what it actually looks like in the financial advisory world as somebody that's in it on a day-to-day basis. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave us a comment, let us know what you would like to learn about and what other videos we can make on this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.